Good morning and welcome to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019. Hope you had a great Labor Day. Today we're talking about the Secure Act. Are prospects dimming for its passage? Many Americans are struggling to save for retirement, either because they don't have access to a retirement plan or they do not have the funds to set aside. Back in May, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Secure Act 417-3. The bill, which is the first major comprehensive retirement legislation since the passage of the 2006 Pension Protection Act, has significant provisions that can help get Americans saving again. Currently, the bill is scheduled or may be scheduled for a vote in the U.S. Senate. Let's hope. And joining me now to provide some key analysis and what's going on their social media platform known as LinkedIn, it's LinkedIn Senior Financial Services Editor, Devin Banerjee. Hey, Devin, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I hope you had a great Labor Day. So the Secure Act, certainly a very comprehensive piece of retirement and financial legislation. And, LinkedIn is one of the top or the top business social media platform. What are your listeners or users saying about what's going on with the Secure Act right now?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. So it's a mouthful. Setting every community up for a Retirement Enhancement Act passed pretty overwhelmingly by the House of Representatives in May, now kind of up to the Senate to take up. And on LinkedIn, we're seeing a lot of different perspectives about this. One of the great things about the process over the past few months, in my opinion, is just the rigorous debate that's been going on both sides of this act. So let's talk about some of the positives that people see. One that we've seen a lot of discussion about among gig economy workers is that the Secure Act would allow more easily for multiple employer plans for smaller businesses to team up to reduce that administrative burden and the cost of administering a retirement plan, 401k or IRA plan on their own. They can team up. That should benefit workers, gig economy workers, others at smaller businesses. The Secure Act would also allow more easily for inclusion of annuities in these plans. For certain people, annuities could be appropriate. And then also it pushes back the age where one is required to take the minimum distribution by about a year and a half to age 72 from age 70 and a half. So, a lot of people pointing out those pros. And then we've seen, I would generalize to say, a lot of really tax-minded folks on the platform point out some of the drawbacks. So one of the main ones we've seen a lot of discussion about is the elimination effectively of the stretch IRA capability that the Secure Act would put in place. So right now, as it stands, you can designate, a beneficiary, maybe one generation or even two, a grandchild, for example, as a beneficiary of your 401k or IRA. And that allows the distributions to take place over a much longer time period and therefore be taxed over a much longer time period and to grow until those distributions. The Secure Act would force beneficiaries to start to take those distributions within 10 years, which would mean the money is taxed within 10 years. So we see a lot of people holding out on that point, including, by the way, some senators who are opposing this, which could be a problem for the future of this act. We've seen Ted Cruz of Texas oppose some of these issues, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, Mike Lee of Utah. Another issue that some of these senators and others are dealing with is changes to how 529 plans are treated, which is, I don't know if it's funny, but a lot of people are pointing out this is about saving and investing for retirement. 529s are about saving and investing, but more for obviously children's education. Ted Cruz of Texas, for example, is quite miffed that the plan would take away the ability for 529 distributions to go toward homeschooling, to go toward therapy for disabled children. So there are some issues that are keeping some senators holding out. Again, some other people are talking about annuities, for example, whether those are appropriate. And so really passionate discussion on both sides of this issue, and we'll see if it gets taken up by the Senate when they come back from their August recess.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, this passed the House of Representatives in May, as you said. I'm wondering if there's any frustration that's been building on the platform. You know, as a retirement professional, someone who's been in the space for a while, you know, this is pretty much important, comprehensive legislation, especially getting people saving. You know, we've got the states out there doing some work. This is really comprehensive, something that's really needed. I'm just wondering if you get some level of frustration from people saying, hey, you know, let's get to work on this. This is really important.
Absolutely. We are seeing a lot of advisors, financial advisors, you know, saying this is really important legislation. In their opinion, this would obviously be some of the largest changes to the retirement saving and investing space for probably about 15 years. Some of the largest changes. A lot of advisors are excited to start talking with their clients about these issues, but there's this legislative and even political uncertainty going on. Especially now, close to an election cycle, where we are seeing people like Ted Cruz, the Texas senator, for example, maybe thinking about political angles to his support or opposition of this. And so, yeah, there is some frustration, especially among advisors who want to start talking about this stuff with clients, but cannot do it with certainty right now because of this uncertainty.
Absolutely. Well, we're back from Labor Day break. Hopefully the senators come back. Hopefully this gets a floor vote, as you said. I guess we're going to have to just sit and wait. Devin Banerjee, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for giving us the sentiment on the social media platform known as LinkedIn. We'll have to check back in with you very soon. Thanks, Devin.
Thanks, Jeff. Take care.
And coming up next, we're going to be talking to James Brennick. He's a retired General Electric engineer. He's got a pension, a 401k, retiree health. He's going to share some of his life lessons, what he's learned both as an employee and in retirement, coming up. So stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network. Welcome back. And you know, it's quite rare for Americans these days to have a pension, Social Security, 401k, and even retiree healthcare. Our next guest is a retired General Electric pensioner. James Brennick is joining us live from Indiana to discuss some of the life lessons he learned along the way, both as an employee and now in retirement. Jim, so great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on the show today. What are some of the challenges that you faced over the past few years?
Okay, good. Yeah, I retired from General Electric in 1996. So I'm in my 24th year of retirement.
Wow.
And I couldn't be happier. Fortunately, GE had a retirement plan at the time, and Social Security, I have that now, and also an IRA. So those three things have really helped me along. My life is pretty simple. I lead a simple lifestyle. My condo is paid for. I drive a 2012 Subaru, and I can do what I want. I travel, I kayak, I bike. I just met one of my friends today for lunch. We shot 12 games of pool.
Wow.
Life couldn't be better.
That's amazing. So you're one of those fortunate Americans. You have a pension, you have a 401k, you have an IRA. Have you had any challenges? One of the things we read about is healthcare expenses being exceptionally high for retirement. I think a recent survey had retiree healthcare somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000. Having the retirement benefit, having the pension, having the 401k, has that really helped you kind of stem the tide in terms of some of those healthcare costs?
Absolutely, and I've been really fortunate too from a health standpoint. I'll be 80 next month, and it's been pretty good. I haven't been without a few problems. I had gallbladder surgery earlier this year, and I've had some back surgery and a melanoma surgery. But other than that, I'm doing well. And fortunately, nothing really started happening until after I was 65. In fact, not till I was 75 did I really start. I had a few health issues, but so all that was basically covered by Medicare. What wasn't covered by Medicare was covered by GE as well. So very little out of pocket for me. So
yeah, sorry, I was going to say that's absolutely amazing. You're one of the very lucky Americans. Let me ask you a question. I mean, you still have money. I know you're getting the fixed pension, Social Security, you've got Medicare. You watch or you read or you hear about what's going on in the news in terms of the market volatility. Does that cause you any stress or duress like it would me or someone else who's currently saving for the retirement or near retirement?
It's funny you ask that because just today when I was having lunch with this friend that I shot pool with, he looks at the stock market every day and goes crazy with the ups and downs. I look at it once a month. I'll look at it tomorrow and see what it closed at the end of the month. And I'm fine with that. I sleep well at night, and I'm into the Vanguard Index family of funds. So I just leave it alone. And that's worked well for me. So I don't get too excited about the ups and the downs. The other thing is if my pension went away, if the Social Security went away, it'd be rough, but I would still survive based on my IRA, or any one of the three could go away and I'd still be fine.
And outside of the pension, I mean, you really started saving when you first got into the workforce. Is that true?
I did. GE had a savings and what they called a savings and security plan where they matched X amount of dollars for whatever you put in. And I wish, along with other people, that I had started saving a lot sooner. We all do wish that, but it's fine. Once I retired from GE, I moved it out of the GE savings plan to Vanguard to their IRA, and that's worked well for me.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking to all those viewers out there, some of they're all different ages. People as young as and they're just starting their career. What are some life lessons, things that you could pass along in terms of your experience? It's a learned experience. You don't come through this without, the ups and downs. So what are some of the pitfalls and things that you kind of dealt with, maybe pre-retirement or into retirement that you could pass along as words of wisdom?
Well, I would say immediately, don't leave money on the table. If your employer has a savings plan, get into it as soon as possible. And stay in it. Don't start taking money out of it early when they match your money. Just don't do that. The power of compounding is wonderful. I truly believe in that. So if that's the one mistake I made, was taking it out too soon and not realizing that I should, leave it in there. So that's the main thing I would say. And enjoy every day that you have. Enjoy your kids, enjoy your family. You never know when that's going to be cut short. I traveled to Alaska. I'll be to Alaska twice this year to visit my daughter and my grandchildren, going to Hawaii in October. So I've been pretty fortunate. I really have.
Yeah, amazing. Well, great life lessons. Jim, thanks so much for sharing your experience. Really appreciate it. I think the viewers can really learn a lot from you and hearing from you. Take care. Enjoy the trip to Alaska, and play a few rounds of billiards for me, will you?
I will do that, Jeff. Good talking to you, my friend.
Thank you. Take care. Take care. Thanks, Jim. Sounds as though you're well on your way in retirement. Enjoy time traveling, spending time with friends and family. Hope you enjoy it. You're very fortunate. And well, folks, that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a lot of information out of it. There's a lot more to come. Have an idea? Have a financial topic? Have someone you want us to talk to? Drop us a line. You can do so at the link below. And think you missed out on any news? There's a lot more news right below the fold in the Morning Pulse. You can check it out each and every day. So until tomorrow, I'm Jeff Snyder. Roll with the changes.
Waiting here for you to take and drink of. But if you're tired of the same